Fighter.
Barbie teams.
There's no Street Fighter in it.
Lakeith at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. We are here for Atlanta episode 8 called Woods. I am joined by a wonderful cast of characters. These amazing ladies. Starting in the Bidak, we got my girl
Marqueeda LaStar. Yay! I'm not crazy. I promise you. Be my friend.
Oh man! And then to my left, I have the awesome
Sade Minaj.
What?
Look.
Wait, we have an audience
Nikki
today.
Star.
Oh, yes.
Hi guys.
The Nikki
Thank you, studio audience.
So, we're gonna go on and get into it. This episode was deeper than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh, it was way deeper than we thought.
So, kind of first impressions. What do you guys have like after the screen went dark? How did you guys feel?
Much better than last week's.
Much better than last week. It's definitely a pick me up. I feel like we're back in weird land.
Weird
again.
Atlanta.
We're back in Atlanta again with the weird and the strange and having to question myself and why I watch the show every
Somebody just said it was strange and it doesn't make any sense.
But it
totally
does.
makes sense.
But
that's how it works. No, you're right. You're perfectly right. It makes no sense, but it makes sense while not making sense. Welcome to
Welcome to the very weird.
So let's start at the top. So we start at the top with Paperboy, and it's another Paperboy centric episode, which is like so generous. He just had one only 2 episodes ago with Barbershop, so now he has another.
That wasn't focused on Paperboy.
It was.
It was about Bibby. It was about Bibby.
No, it was through Paperboy's point of view. So it
with the
definitely
worst barber ever. Well, the best talent, the best skilled barber, but the worst person to have those skills.
Best intention.
Wait! Before we get through it, we're recording to a live audience.
We're with a live audience.
Oh, I said that.
We're both award-winning filmmakers.
Oh yes.
Right.
Later on, we're gonna get into the award-winning filmmakers right here. See. Man, somebody said there's people that are watching the show and they're not liking it. So
What? Well, here's what it is. Atlanta is not for people who are looking for a overall arc storyline. Like if you are into traditional conventional TV, like your 40-minute sitcom or your hour drama or your Law and Order, where you know that this is the setup, I'm gonna find out answers at the end. This is not for you. Atlanta is, like I say, an indie. I was just saying it's like an indie short every episode. It's not gonna give you all the answers. They want you to think, people.
Yes.
So if you don't like it, I feel like that's because you want answers that you feel like they should be giving you. They're not ever going to give you any answers.
You want things tied up in a pretty bow, and that's often what television, film, and all our other...
They kind of bookend things for you.
Eventually, no matter how topsy-turvy crazy a film is or a TV show is, eventually they tie up most of their loose ends and hand you a pretty package. That is not Atlanta. That's never been Atlanta. That's not going to be Atlanta. So you're not gonna you're definitely gonna. You gotta try new things. You gotta open yourself,
open your mind,
and you gotta work on what this is. It's presenting you with stuff. It's more observational. It's like I made these observationals. I kind of feel some kind of way about it, but tell me what you think. That's what Atlanta's doing.
And what's great about tell me what you think, and there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
What you take from it is what you take from it. It may be different from what you take from it.
World building. If you are building just a world with snapshots of things that happen in this world, as opposed to trying to explain this world through narrative. Atlanta's not the latter. It's not explaining the world through narrative.
Okay.
It's simply giving you snapshots of, here's the world I exist in. Are you making any sense of this? Because I'm not even always sure that the writers have perfect logic.
But that's why we're here, to give you ideas, and we may not be right.
The fabulous answers for you.
We're just giving what we think it is, by the way. We're no experts. We're all creatives who are just giving what our opinions are. What you take from it is what you take from it.
Now, what do you guys think about Sierra? Because I was cool on her at first.
Wait, so let's start at the top of the episode.
All right,
recaps. People like these recaps. So we started at the top of the episode. If you haven't seen the episode, by the way, why are you watching?
Yeah, you should be watching.
We started at the top of the episode because I think this is really important. Paperboy's on the couch, and at first it seems like his mother has passed away in season 1.
She's already
we knew that she is dead. But we meet his mother, and I think they gave her the name Lorraine. In the subtitles, if you didn't have those on, you wouldn't know this. But in the subtitles, her name is Lorraine, and she is talking to Paperboy while he is on the couch. It turns out that is a flashback or a dream of some sort, because she is dead. I think that's important, and that'll become important later. So, by the way, keep watching. It'll be important later.
So and everybody in the chat, we'll catch up with your chats in a second.
We're going to catch up with your chats.
We're going to go over it real quick for people.
Paperboy wakes up and realizes, yes, it was a dream. And then he finds Darius in the kitchen doing what Darius knows best. Cooking. Darius
and being Darius. Cooking and being Darius, because there's nothing Darius does better than be himself.
Carefree after what he went through 2 episodes inside. Yes. Darius has learned how to make a new pasta that he dreamed about.
Yes.
Did not take a class. He just said, I dreamt it.
You don't
need
classes.
No, not when you're Darius.
Not when you're Darius.
And he literally put his foot up in the pasta.
His foot
himself is his own superhero.
And I would still eat it.
Superpower.
I still eat it.
Because I feel like Darius' feet are like blessed in some way.
I ain't gonna, I respect the art, but I'm not going to
If Darius is putting his foot in the pasta, it's because he knows something I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's why.
It's some proper feet.
So anyway, Darius and Paperboy get into a discussion about this woman named Sierra, and this is where we get involved. And Darius makes a claim that, oh, that's not your girlfriend. I thought you weren't into girlfriends. And Paperboy said, that's not my girl, and all that. And then we meet the lovely Sierra, which I've been saying more black women, and I keep getting them, so I'm gonna keep saying it.
Yes, thank you for that, Miss Sade.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you to stop rubbing that lamp now. This is just a wish master. Every time you get your
because every time you get a black woman, she's not like a normal person.
No, she is very normal though. Sierra, I know so many Sierras.
Yeah, there are a lot of Sierras. Let me take that back. But
I mean, we're not getting what I think you want though.
Yeah, she's not like. She's not giving you the shea butter queen.
She's not. No, none of the black women have been giving me. Not even Vanessa. What I really want.
But Sierra is a really important look into Paperboy.
Right.
Because like you said, this is the first time he smiled like a normal smile.
So they're joking in the car, and then he gives it to her, and she gives it right back. It's like clap back after clap back. But he actually smiles, like not like laughing at Ern smile, but he actually has a genuine smile. Yeah. And remember, I feel like that day was the day of his mother's death anniversary because he gets a phone call. I believe it's from Ern, but it doesn't say who it's from.
Yeah.
And they go, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. No, it's definitely Ern.
Was it Ern?
Yeah, okay.
Asking if you're okay, it gives you the sense that he really genuinely cares what's going on with his cousin. Remember, we've talked about how his cousin and different people in his life don't seem to care about Ern, but Ern gives that back too. So under the guise of I care, it soon comes out like, hey, what about these, like, you know,
these
he's trying
forms,
to do these forms, he's trying to be the manager still, and that's what he's really calling about. And that's a little disorienting because I think that's hurtful. It's hurtful because he's forgotten this dude's, like, you know, the death of his parents.
No, I think he did say, how are you doing with the day? But it was more of that, like, okay, so now that's out of the way. By the way, you guys signed these papers.
Because the way that Paperboy Alfred even responds lets me know something's up. And if you really cared, you was going to dig further into that. But he's not there to really console and see what's up with you. He's more like, I wanted to ask you about these forms. And that's the nice civil thing. That's how you open a conversation.
That's how you open it up.
You say, hi, how are you? I don't mean the hi, are you?
I just need to know where these forms are, but I need to make sure I'm not.
Because we got to have them by Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly.
And we don't know what day it is, but I'm guessing it's the weekend, maybe?
It must be Monday.
But Paperboy ain't got a job, so you know, maybe it's Tuesday.
But to ask him out on his mother's anniversary, his mother's death anniversary
time is really funky in this show. So sometimes, and I like how the stories are not beholden to time. Like this can be any moment
because it's like a weird.
In your life.
So they don't really let you know a kind of distinct time.
Right, it was just New Year's. We know that.
Yeah,
but we don't know
at least
like
for
how
Van's
long
episode. But we don't know if this is happening
episode.
before that or whatever.
Right,
we have no idea.
So connecting this back to Sierra, which is disappointing is that obviously this day means a lot to Paperboy because he's thinking about his mother, and as someone who just lost my grandmother, I know exactly how that is. Then you find a woman that makes him smile, and she's cute, and then for her to disappoint him like that. It was so hurtful to me.
Right, because at first we go through motions, and that's why I think I always like about Atlanta. They make you go through a lot of different feelings. Versus like, oh, I thought she was eyeing for like Ern's position. I think we all were on that tip. We were like, oh, she's finessing.
She's finessing.
She's finessing
just a little bit
to come up, and then she's like, oh well, maybe she's really into him. She wants to be that Bay and Jay power couple, and then you realize she's just here for the come up.
She's just here for the come up. I thought she was trying to elevate him and together.
Exactly.
But it was really about her elevation.
Exactly. So her finesse game, she got impatient. Because obviously she's doing the relationship thing. It looked like she was doing the long game. Like if you're going to finesse somebody, finesse is all about patience.
Long game.
It's the long game. You can't just level up on somebody all of a sudden because
you're getting a pedicure.
A pedicure. Like just because you convince this dude to do some self-care.
I mean, but that was important. Like I said when we were just watching the show, I said he must really like her. For Paperboy's character, because I know some guys are absolutely comfortable getting pedicures. There's nothing wrong with it. But for his character, that's out of character.
Yeah,
for him to sit in that chair and then compliment her and say, you look beautiful without makeup, he really liked this woman.
Yeah, he was definitely into her. And she blew it, man. She blew it.
She blew it hard.
And that really hurt him. And then, so the reason why we get into the episode, it really kicks us off, is she and Paperboy get into a huge argument, and then they all salon because obviously we realize that she's a fake and a phony.
Exactly, but it's also important that she points out that, she says, you're not better than me. You're trying to stay real and looking on me. I'm trying to just get paid.
Yeah.
And she challenges his idea of like Alfred throughout season 1 and 2. He's like, I'm not a rapper. I'm just trying to do this to make money. I'm doing this because I don't have other options. But I'm still me. He's still trying to be him.
Like I'm just like
he's trying to keep it real.
Right here. Remember the old girl he was hollering at in the episode, like nobody beats the Beetz, where he's hitting on her. I think she's a reporter type. Oh, and she's like, just play your role as a rapper.
Yeah,
and you're reducing him to this one-dimensional rapper.
This has been a struggle for him
for a long time. And he's like, no, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. True. And so it boils over again with Sierra. I was about to call her Tracy. Ern got me all messed up. and it boils over. And so he takes off. He leaves.
But this also reminds me of the episode going back to like 4 episodes ago when they went to that YouTube-esque space and they had the guy on the table shucking and driving and everyone was telling him, just play the part and you'll get this money. Mm-hmm. And he walked out. He walked out
because he wasn't feeling this. This wasn't real. This was a fake crowd. Blah, 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 blah. He's not about being Paperboy. He still wants to be Alfred. Yeah. Even when he's bragging about being Paperboy. He's still not committed.
He said he's not a part of that fake stuff. That's what he kept saying.
Yeah.
And she is a part of that fake stuff. I mean, Sierra's a former stripper, and she talks about that, and now she claims to be an Instagram model.
She Instagram famous, y'all.
Instagram famous.
She do it for the gram.
So she makes her money off of likes and sponsorships, and I'm not judging that at all. No. Because if you know how to do it right and you get paid,
she absolutely. How we thought she was going to finesse.
There's worse ways to make money.
How she's going to finesse Ern out of his position. She's like, what? You don't get stuff for free? Your manager should be doing that, which we all agree. Ern needs to do a better job at managing.
Yeah. But Ern isn't doing too bad because
he isn't doing too bad. And
they're not struggling.
Paperboy is also making it difficult.
And he's able to pay.
But it takes two. It takes two. Paperboy is not meeting.
Paperboy has to do his part.
And this episode, which we'll get to later, I think was his.
Kind of like crescendo moment.
Yep, that was it. This was the final straw for me.
I think a lot of people got tripped over to the weird. So let's go on and get to the weird because everybody's aching for this weird stuff.
Yeah,
we have all kinds of people. We got Lisa. We got Crowdfund 727.
What up, Crowdfund?
I think his name was Max. He's come back from last week.
What up?
So we're going to get to the weird stuff. So let's go
here. We are.
So what starts off on the weird stuff is Paperboy runs into some supposed fans.
Yeah.
Because remember, he got in a fight with Sierra, so he said, I'm going to walk.
I'm going to walk. I drove.
I'm going to walk.
I'm going to walk. Now, why he doesn't pull out his phone and get an Uber? Why he doesn't call somebody to give him a
Because he's in his city and he feels like he should be able to talk.
But anyway, he comes upon 3 young men who claim to be fans.
Yeah.
Oh, you fan? Why you walking? Why you ain't car? He's like, I'm just trying to be real. I'm just like, want to be out here. Like, when you go again, this constant theme of I want to be real.
Yeah.
But that was a lie. It wasn't the truth. The truth was I gotta fight with my girl, and I decided. Right. I'm just going for a walk.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that was
even
a lie.
in that moment, he was being fake.
You were being fake.
But you claiming you want to be real. Like, it's going back and forth. He's still, like, I think there's a recurring theme of him teeter-tottering between wanting to be real, but also don't want to look like he got played. He doesn't want to come off weak. And those are just normal issues I think everyday dudes go through. Even as a woman, I don't want anybody to play me. I don't want to feel like I'm weak or I'm getting played or something. Nobody wants to feel like that, regardless of your gender. So he's just having like a moment where, you know, happens to everybody, and he doesn't want to reveal this to these random people. But in that instant, they're like, oh, you by yourself. This is the come.
Which makes me upset because we've been in this position when he got robbed by the plug. Mm-hmm. You know damn well, 3 of you versus 1.
Exactly.
3 of them, 1 of you.
Like if he's
your
so
chain,
street,
your watch.
right? If he's so about these streets, if he knows as much as that, I feel like my black spider sense starts tingling. Why aren't yours people?
Yeah, because it was a similar situation with the drug dealer.
Yeah,
it got silent and it got weird. And Max, big shout out to Max in the chat. He said when keeping it real goes wrong, and I was thinking about it. I was thinking about that Dave Chappelle skit when he would be like, when keeping it real goes wrong.
Sometimes keeping it real is going wrong for Paperboy / Alfred all day, every day.
Over.
It's been going wrong
because, and this is what I struggle with too, as we will talk about later, as I become more notable in my career. It's like you have to have that separation between your celebrity self and your real self, because people are approaching him like that's your cousin on the street. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If they feel that comfortable approaching you, at some point it's got to be like, wait a second, you do know I am a human being, and I am not like a museum artifact for you to just walk up on. Like I feel like Paperboy, by trying to keep it too real, doesn't know boundaries. You should have security at some point in your career, boo.
You should have someone that's kind of managing your movements and stuff like that, because he's at Paperboy's at this weird place.
I think who does need to move. I think there's levels to it, and he needs if he was owning the fact that he is trying.
You are a celebrity. He just needs to own that.
It's not even just the celebrity part. It's like you have to own the fact that you're working towards something. Right. You don't earn for sucking at what he's doing because you want more X, Y, and Z. So you have to understand what comes to it. He's resisting this like come up thing. He's resisting leveling up or going into this new lane or new space, whatever you want to call it. He's going somewhere new and unfamiliar, and he's resisting that, and he's paying the cost.
And he's not carrying a gun, which I don't understand.
But
he's on probation. Remember, he can't handle that. Yeah, but I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know.
No, that's perfect because it still goes back to that you want to be a gangster, but you don't want to be a gangster.
Right.
Yeah, Michael, I got you, Michael. Yeah, he do need security.
Exactly, he needs security.
No, he don't need security. They had 3 of them and a gun, and he still was able to fight them with a gun, but still. You could have had a gun.
But he has to own what he's doing. He could roll constantly with people. There's a reason why.
He was with this girl. But he was with this girl and he didn't expect to be like that to happen. So
But he should have never walked off on his own. Because Paperboy
he should have somebody pick him up or something like that.
Paperboy is in this weird space where you're not huge yet.
But you're
definitely
recognizable.
You're not a nobody anymore.
You're not Drake.
Yeah. You're not Drake, but you're not a nobody.
Yeah, security costs money. But hold on, wasn't Tracy on the couch? But isn't Tracy on the couch with no job? Can Tracy not be your security?
Yeah, Tracy.
Isn't he living in your house for free?
Yeah.
So get to work, Tracy.
You attacking this like a logical human being.
Tracy need to use them ways.
Because to me, if you gonna live on my couch, eat my food, Darius is cooking. You need to be my security.
Anything with Tracy.
That's what I'm saying. Start asking.
Yeah, he do. Like Tracy need to step up.
But anyway, guys, ass beat.
But anyway, he does.
But he didn't go out. He didn't just go out like no punk.
He did it. He took some good licks. He grabbed the gun by the barrel. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Hey, look! If they gonna take your shit and shoot you, you might as well go down with your boots on. So he fought it out.
Tracy not confident. Tracy can be secure.
All right, it was that Chris. Yeah, what up, Chris?
So I agree with Chris. Tracy would be a trash security.
All you gotta do is walk around.
They are trying to set Paperboy up for great failure with this stressor thing.
Tracy.
I would get rid of Tracy.
He set himself up for player. He got robbed twice in 3 weeks.
Look, Tracy is not that dude.
Ridiculous.
I need you to let go of this Tracy idea because that Tracy.
But even if Tracy didn't even have a gun, or someone at least with him,
what you're saying is he has to have a function if he's in the house.
Thank you.
You know, like if you're in the house, you need to have a function.
He's literally not that dude.
Well, then you need to go.
Yeah, he do need to leave. He wouldn't be on my couch.
Not on mine.
He wouldn't be on my couch.
But I feel like we're getting very distracted with the Tracy thing. He's a loser. He's couch surfaced.
No, but what I mean is if he had an entourage, it wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah, he would need one in his entourage.
Where are your boys?
Yeah.
But Darius is cooking. We got that. But where
we got people begging for the more weird shit. So let's get to the weird shit.
So he gets his ass kicked, and he fights them off, but he gets his watch and his chain stolen. He gets really messed up in the face. And then he runs to the woods, which I've only been to Atlanta.
Yeah, because he's shooting. I didn't know
it was that.
Yes, Atlanta is extremely
it's got tons of woods on it.
It's beautiful. I love it. But yes, you can get lost in them. Yeah. Yes,
I had no idea. So when he starts running through the woods, he literally looked like, I can't remember the movie, but if you guys know this movie, it's the movie from the 80s where the two men are in the woods and these rednecks start chasing them with a banjo and they're like, ding, 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 ding. That's how it looked to me. It was like a real horror film because he's got this guy still chasing him.
And we're not 100% sure that the guy is real.
We're not quite sure.
Yeah, we don't know if he's real.
Either the guy is crazy and he's saying random
No, not
stuff.
that guy. I mean the kid with the gun. Now, why would the kid with the gun still want to shoot him? I don't know. But all we hear is his voice. We never see another shot of him.
What do you mean? It's somebody jumping you. That's what they do.
But they got what they wanted. So to me, I'm like, you're done. I got what I wanted. I'm leaving.
That's not logical.
But here's when I feel like Paperboy steps into an alternate reality. No. But this is what I'm saying. I'm saying we don't see a shot of the guy actually chasing Paperboy. All we hear is what I feel like is Paperboy's fear.
Yeah.
He says, Paperboy, where are you? Look, that's really like weird to me.
Yeah.
So I feel like as we enter the forest, we're entering Paperboy's. I called it the Dante Inferno.
Or whatever.
I called it the 7 Circles of Hell.
Yeah.
Because now he's got to fight to get his way out. He's terrified. I've never seen him scared like that.
Couldn't you run into a physical place to get lost, and the fear of being lost brings other fears to the
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's what I feel like just happened.
Because perception is reality.
Right.
And once you get turned around, you've been walking for a long time.
Clear he's walking in circles.
You're already scared for your life.
So this is the part where we get this breakdown where I know because Lisa starts off saying that she doesn't know about this season of Atlanta. Too strange, not making any sense. So it sounds like you've been struggling with the season, like the whole season, and we can't get into the whole season. But it's not a linear story. The stories are self-contained.
Correct.
They kind of make sense within themselves.
They're kind of lightly connected.
Very lightly connected.
They
might give you, they might leave you clues. They do foreshadowing.
Yeah.
They give you like these small devices that might help you better decipher the next episode, but they are not directly linked.
I don't even think they're linked at all because there's no mention of Teddy Perkins after Darius. Like even Darius went to the Drake party.
I feel like that's an exception.
No mention of
that's an exception. Like,
but that was a crazy thing.
We're using stuff from season 1 and coming back to season 2. So they do drop stuff that is useful to you that connects that again, lets you know that you're in the same world. You're just visiting different parts of that world. Sometimes you're Teddy Perkins almost feels like you're on a totally different continent, but you're still in the same world of Atlanta, and stuff like that. So, and I feel like cities can be that way. Big cities can be small microcosms of the world. You can go,
especially like LA.
Exactly, LA. You have all these different people, these different communities. It changes up. You can feel the change sometimes. Sometimes you're like, oh, I don't know if I should be in this neighborhood, for different reasons. But so Atlanta is weird, but you got to kind of open your mind to it. I actually love the season. I think season One was introduce. We're going to set the rules.
And season 1 was a more linear storyline.
It was much more linear.
Yeah, it was.
But they had to get us. They had to get us into it. They had to get us
there. They couldn't drop season 2 the way it is and think they would. I think they would have an audience just because we are too accustomed to more linear storytelling. And stuff is what you're used to. So they did break some of the rules in season 1, and then I think season 2 came along, and they're like, we're not paying attention to any of those rules. Yeah, just
these are the people at different periods in their life.
Extreme character building.
Yeah, but
they're very focused on the characters, developing them. You don't have just 3D characters; you have fourth dimension characters. They're almost going to reach out. You know these people. You know, they're your family, they're your friends. It's the dude at the corner. You know these people, and you probably know more about them than you ever realized you did not want to know. So that's
does it make murder? What do you say?
Okay, wait. We're coming down. We're gonna come down. So somebody just said that they love Teddy Perkins and Juneteenth, which are some of the more
too strong episodes,
really out there episodes. Lisa came back and said she's been watching the show for the second season. She enjoyed the first season way better.
To each its own.
Makes sense.
It's what you take from it.
Max Evans is my broadcast cut out for a second.
All right,
everybody.
No, wait. We didn't get to that yet. So going back to Paperboy, he sees maybe a homeless man who may be there, who may be not there. It's never very clear if this person is real. His eyes are gray, right? Did I peep that?
I want to say
there was a moment where the eyes did look like
I didn't know if there was a light at them or what.
They looked blind, but they didn't stay that way. Okay. So you don't know if Paperboy's tripping,
right?
Or this guy is really blind.
So in the forest, he ends up circling because he sees his dead deer, right?
Yeah.
And the old man, who may or may not be there, says, "That's you. That is you. If you do not get out of here."
This is an analogy on the whole black man buck.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like he does refer to him. He's like, you know what? I'm going to name you Deer Guts.
Yeah, because you know what happens to a deer that doesn't move? It gets shot.
Yeah.
And if Paperboy's going to stay in one place, his career's not going to move. He's not going to survive.
He's not going to move forward in life.
Yeah.
I think it's very. I think something about the second season is you come to a realization that everybody looks like they're not going anywhere.
Right. Everyone's
and
stuck.
they're beginning to realize that they're stuck.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're kind of rotting in place.
Exactly. And that's what I think that deer was.
As soon as it's Vanessa, it's everybody. If they don't move eventually, if they don't figure out they're stuck.
Figure it out. That's what he kept saying to him.
And the only one who's figured it out is Darius.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Darius is that person that I'll give you if you want it or if you need it, but I'm not going to push it onto you.
Right.
Like Darius, because Darius has the answers. He has the answers, Sway. He has them. But
at least he believes he has the answers.
No, he does.
Believes he has the answers.
I believe Darius.
I don't think I subscribe completely to Black Yoda.
Because Darius, throughout the whole Teddy Perkins thing, he kept moving forward. That was the thing.
Yeah.
He kept going and he kept trying. Paperboy is stuck in this woods, and same thing with his career. As much as we didn't like Sierra and what she tried to do, she was right.
Yeah.
She was absolutely right about utilizing the tools, which is Instagram, Facebook, for your career for betterment. She said, you on the radio, you should be getting this for free. You should be doing this. You really need to post more. And he's like, I don't do all that. It is not about keeping it real. It's about, this is a business. This is what the world is now. You have to do this.
And you have to make a choice. You can't keep saying you want this. Like, you get mad at Ern about, like, not doing enough. But then when he does finally come through and gets a gig together,
you walk out of the room. Yeah,
right,
you walk out of the room.
Because it's not real. It's like, you really got to make up your mind which one is it. Either you're doing this, you're getting your paper. It's a business. It's all about the paper, right? That's why you say you're doing this. But then anytime you feel some kind of way, it makes you feel like you're shucking and driving, which you're going to have to do because you're trying to make paper. You performing to make paper.
And isn't that the artist struggle?
The artist. Well, but see, the artist struggle.
I feel like it's the artist struggle with him because he's not claiming to be an artist. He's not.
Yeah, he's not even. He hasn't even.
That's true.
He hasn't even made that jump into it until at the end of this episode, of course.
But you can be an artist and not even want to claim that. Like, he's creating music based off his world. That makes it art. So he may not think that. But the fact that he's like, I want to be real and authentic, that makes you an artist. That makes you an artist. And I go back to Donald Glover, who created the show, and I feel like, is he talking to us through Paperboy? Like, he started off on stage, right, doing stand-up. And then he moved on into writing.
Started doing some writing.
And then people wanted to take from him and or like the Dave Chappelle thing. You're like, Dave was doing well, y'all. We know this. Yeah. He got $50 million offer. What did he do? He threw it right back in his face because they wanted him to do the same old stuff. Yeah. You gotta play the game, but then also you're like, don't let the game play you at the same time.
And I think Dave Chappelle said in in Actors Studio, he said his father told him a long time ago, you have to name your price. And once it gets too expensive, you need to leave.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Also, he didn't like the idea that people were like, they were laughing at him instead of with him.
Yeah.
You weren't getting the jokes, you weren't getting the depth to jokes, you weren't getting the message that he was trying. He was trying to flip things upon. It's like it was kind of like an exaggerated observational type comedy where he's flipping American society. Yeah. And showing you the mirror instead of you being horrified about what you're seeing ultimately, like that P. Diddy Rich one where he was breaking an egg. Yeah. And he's like, it's a dinosaur egg, and there's only 2 of these in the world. And
he was like, pow.
Max said he thought the rainbow bar. By the way, so in the middle of all of this,
let's get back to this rainbow bar thing. So in the middle of all this, he's tripping.
What is it called? The color bar.
The testing.
The testing. We all saw that. I think that's part of it, and I think that's what
because that's right when he started counting.
Yeah, exactly. He started counting.
But what did we miss? That's what I want to know.
Right. That's some crazy mess.
It only lasted for a few seconds, but it's like something was in there.
Something was in there, and I love that because I was like that. To me, it's the before you get too carried away and you're going in too much one direction with the story that jerks you kind of.
Yeah. Because I'm sure everybody was like, hold up, what?
Yeah. When you see those bars, who said it earlier? Those bars mean tests. Those bars, this is a simulated test.
This is a test for
this
the
is your national broadcast emergency test.
The emergency broadcast system, blah, 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 whatever.
So you can maybe reset. So we went from going, he's tripping, he's depressed about maybe his mom's, and to, maybe this is a test, and maybe that's the message it wants to get, because I definitely think he's being tested, because he's being continually in some buildup. He's been continually challenged from season 1 to now about whether he's going to commit himself, who he is, what he's going to be.
This is a test.
Thing. He's got the success. It's going to be more than 15 minutes. That's clear at this point. This is going to be more than 15 minutes. So are you going to
streets mess with him?
Yeah, the streets mess with him constantly. Well, and he's always saying he's representing the streets and that he's all about
we're all tested, right? Daily.
Aren't
we all? Isn't this life one giant test to see if we get into heaven? Darius, that's what Darius would say.
Yeah, it is.
But Darius said last episode, we're nothing, this is nothing, nothing means anything. So
I really like to see, and I like that jarring thing that like this is a test. But it's not like a test like it should be slept on. Like the stakes are high. Because
when we come back,
first he's like he's going to kill him.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that. So the old man gives Paperboy a very stern ultimatum. He holds a box cutter to his neck.
And Paperboy cries.
And cries, right.
He cries.
Woo!
He's having like the deepest moment here. It's crazy.
He says, either you get up from here and walk out of this forest, or I will kill you, and I will take your wallet and your shirt. I said, the shirt too? And your shirt.
Your
shoes. And the shoes.
But again, I think this is representative of what keeps happening to Paperboy. It's no different than the boys. It's no different than the pug. It's no different than people continually reminding him, like, you got to get up and move on. Yeah. And I feel like it just came together and built up and said, if you keep playing this game of, I'm going to be on the sidelines of my own career, I'm going to sit on the fence somehow, it's going to get you killed. I feel like you're going to mess with somebody who wants to jack you, and they're not going to miss like that one, that
like that other kid,
But I also feel like everyone has.
I mean, think about all the rappers who go back to jail. You're coming up, you're making all this money
because they want to. They want to live what they're talking about.
Right. They don't want nobody calling them a punk or a fake or whatever. They want that street.
But there's nothing wrong with moving out of the hood and providing for your family and living a life.
One of the worst lines in hip hop I think I ever heard was, I believe, Havoc for Mobb Deep. And it was like the first album, whatever. And he said, no matter how much loot I get, I'm staying in the projects. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Right. First thing, depending on the amount of loot you get, you about to get robbed. Because project buildings, I'm from the East Coast. Project buildings, I've been to New York tons of times, they ain't got the best security. All right? So
security, like no security.
They ain't got the best security. So the amount of money you have to leave. You have not saying that you're better than the people that are there, but you can't. Just to be safe, you have to leave.
Because the people you think you're like down with, just like Paperboy, he thinks he's down. He's a met kindred souls, and they do it to him every time. That dude who his plug never hopped him. I'm sorry about that, partner. Man, I'm gonna pay you back, man. I'm sorry. It's Robbin season. He still stole from him, and that's gonna happen over and over again. So it's either you get down, because it's a barrel of crabs. It's that barrel of crabs mentality. Either you're gonna lay down here with us and be like us and be nothing, or you're gonna get your ass up and get on out.
Yeah. Well, it's also like we've been talking about Ern's breaking point all season. He hasn't reached it yet. Yeah. This is definitely Paperboy's breaking point. When you're in the woods crying, you have a breaking point. Like,
you have a breaking point.
So I feel like I wanted to go back to his mother, because why put her in the opening if it's not important? I think it's very important to the fact that she was in the beginning saying, "Get up! I didn't raise no lazy son."
Yeah, because she was probably his driving force. That was his driving force. When he was younger, that was probably the driving force that kept him.
And Paperboy's not old. He clearly has lost his mother young. Because I was like, anytime, it's not like you're not.
Because we assume Paperboy's, I guess, around 30, maybe?
Yeah, they're all, I think, around
30-ish.
Late 20s. Everybody's either been to college and now dropped out of college. Late 20s.
Just getting their life started.
Yeah. And you don't have that guiding hand of your mother. And mothers are so important to anybody. Yeah. So the world, I feel like this is not as strange as people think it is. Maybe it's something that's just unfamiliar to you. Because the more I think about it, the more this episode makes a lot of sense to me. It's not strange. It may just be unfamiliar.
We all have our driving forces, and sometimes you have to have a box cutter held to your neck.
Because you have to have that person that stops.
Might be unfamiliar to them. It's like they're using very black like things to demonstrate very universal issues. Just like Sade was saying, we all go through this. We all reach our breaking point. We get challenged. We all have these do or die moments, and they're using these very black metaphors.
Especially with your careers.
Exactly. Yes. Everybody gets.
Have we not all cried at night about our careers in your 20s and figured what is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? I'm just kidding. I cried at night.
But yeah, let's. What? Any chat stuff?
So Chris. So she's dead.
She's dead.
And you can tell. So I want to bring this up because as a director, I thought this was a really nice touch. So Chris, in the beginning of the episode, when you see Paperboy's mom, she disappears to the kitchen. She sings. The director, whoever it was, made a very beautiful choice to dim the lights in the background.
It was something they do a lot in plays.
Yes, exactly. It's so subtle, but that's to let you know that was a dream. That's not real. And it was beautiful.
He's dark, but
what do you say?
I think it's funny. He's like, if Paperboy falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make it a murder. You ain't right.
Boy.
But it's funny.
Oh man! Now I did want to when he's walking, before he meets the guys that rob him, he's walking, and when he walks under that overpass, he comes to a column and he disappears when he walks past that column.
Okay. Yeah.
If you notice that, so I wonder if that's transitioning to a point where it's like he's either maybe this is a mental thing, maybe this is a hallucination thing. Who knows? Or maybe it's been since this morning.
It's actually, I feel like a lot of both. Like, I don't think you need to go to a special place because, again, we're still in Atlanta. The woods seem like, this is a magical setup.
I'll get to that in a second.
It's some super. We have to remember this is set in Atlanta. Woods in your backyard. I got family down there. You walk in the backyard and there's a cutoff where there's the mowed lawn and then the woods.
Yep.
And if you go in those woods, those are real woods. And if you go too far in them, you will get lost if you don't know your way around. And so I think the fact that he's in these woods is really tripping people out that there's a lot more going on than maybe there is. These are his normal surroundings. This is like your everyday. If you're from a city, this this is the equivalent to the city because there's woods everywhere in Atlanta. It doesn't take that long.
I think we're teetering on the line of what is real and what is.
But I think that was done on purpose.
Oh, it's definitely done on purpose. That's why I said I was like, this is like his Dante's Inferno because if you read Dante's Inferno, like I think the 7th circle, or the 5th circle, you just repeat where you've gone, and that's why he's walking in circles. And then the 7th circle is like. The devil, who I equated to be that man, is kind of like, get shit and go, or you gonna stay here with me.
Right.
But that might be looking too much into it.
Or was that an angel in disguise that needed to put that battery in your back to get out of there?
Yeah.
You
know? Well, that it could be either one, because what if you don't rise to the challenge?
And he did. Paperboy did. So Paperboy ends up leaving the forest, and he's outside of the convenience store. And he goes inside the convenience store to grab some Gatorade.
Chris said something about pulling a get out a little bit.
I mean, the deer, obviously we know the deer get out with the mother dying, and then Paperboy's mother was dead. Yeah. Is that loosely connected? Maybe. But I feel like they did their get out thing a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
But he gets, and then this white kid approaches him and says, "Are you Paperboy?" And he reluctantly says, "Yeah, that's me." And then Paperboy offers the photo. Remember, Paperboy does not like being on speakerphone.
Nope.
And he does not like taking photos.
Nope,
this we
not
know.
At all.
But at this point, he has reached his breaking point, and he's now going to start to cave in.
Okay, so comments.
Now you had something from Instagram.
Yeah, that's at the tail end of the episode. So Dre, don't worry, I didn't forget that. Okay, I'm gonna get to that.
So we had the comment about the with Max even saying Rainbow Bar's cutout was the viewer getting robbed. And this is that.
All right, Max, I got you.
And so we had Chris coming to the realization that Paperboy's mom is not real. She's
real. She's really not there.
She has passed though.
She has passed.
And then there is Marcus Garcia talking about the homeless guy refers to Paperboy's mom. And
that's the part I forgot to bring up.
Where
the homeless guy brought up his mom.
Right. It's teetering on what's real and what's not.
He said, you are just like your mother.
Exactly. This could be just a crazy guy that got lucky and said something that hit home. You're having a weird, bad day.
I don't think he's real. I really don't.
He could not be, and he could be.
I don't think he is.
Think about the crazy dudes, the crazy homeless people who, like, you walk by.
No, absolutely. I know those people
random
are real.
Stuff.
But his eyes being white, the mention of their mothers.
It could be religious. It could be, like, just stuff they're thinking about. They think they're talking to somebody. And they just look up and say something. You're like in your head, you're in your feels, and they look up and say something that strikes home. That could be that, or the guy's not real.
Completely. I think his manifestation.
Don't we all talk to ourselves in moments of despair? Like, Sade, you got to get through this. Like, no, you pick yourself up. Like, don't do this. That could just be a projection of that person that's inside him as well. And I may be thinking too deep into it, but I'm like,
no.
Why not?
I think that's what this episode is for. Is for us to get deep in, because I want to do that with is for you to really come up with these theories. Like, I think I saw interviews of Glover and co, like different people from the cast, and they're always the audience has got this theory. They love the theories, and they're here for the theories. They're not going to explain it to us. They rarely expand on these episodes and these interviews. Something that's very different from most other people who make shows. Like, if you interview them, they're going to break down the show for them. Yeah. And this cast never does.
I mean, Michael, you didn't mention, like, what if this is a guardian? What if this is Mama? Bitch, get up. You gotta go.
This is the only way they can get to you. See, I got some stories.
And then that's why she's like, you are like me. That could be it. It could be her. It's her anniversary.
Michael Wilson mentions that Donald Glover has said in interviews that he wanted to make Atlanta about Black Twin Peaks. I think that's when he was being facetious. To be honest, like, I've seen the older version. I watched the new one for a few episodes. I do think it's got that weirdness to it. Because it was like, he wanted to make Twin Peaks for rappers. And some of that I definitely see, because Twin Peaks is, like, random. It's
dope, though.
It's random, but it has an overarch, though, because it's all about this investigation about this murder. So they do have an arc. It's just a lot of weird stuff happening.
And then our arc in Atlanta is is he going to become a rap star? Mm-hmm. Is he not?
Yeah.
You know,
I think the arc is wherever everyone ends is their arc, because they're definitely not going to end up in the same place they started in.
Right. Exactly.
But let me answer Dre's question, because it is about the end of the episode. Mm-hmm. Paperboy gets a text message from an unknown. It's not unknown. It's saved. It's a number. It's not even saved. It has no name to it. But if y'all look at the number, it's not like one of those 5551. It looks like a real ass number. I want to call it, and I want to see. And it says
maybe
thinking.
That's set up for you. I feel like
let me call it
stuff.
Right. And then it said thinking of you, and we know it's not Sierra's number because he had Sierra's number saved. Yeah. We know it's not Ern's because he would have Ern saved. Yeah. So who is thinking of Paperboy?
That was a good mystery.
Yo, if someone knows that number,
we need to find the number. Yeah. Somebody call the number.
Somebody knows that number. Call it. Let us know.
What if it's like an answering machine for Paperboy's mom? I would freak out.
Yo, that would be
that'd be crazy.
Like a saved message or something like that.
Oh my God, where's my
phone? Man, now
did anybody write the number down?
No, but shoot, it's frozen.
It's frozen. Okay.
I did want to get into a conversation about careers, because we're all creators here. Mm-hmm, yeah. And I'm sure there might be some creators that are watching. Thank you guys for stopping by, checking us out and everything. But I did want to get into, not too long, but a conversation about that point where, you have the line between you and celebrity you, or that line between, am I really doing this now and I'm not doing this? When are you aspiring and when are you a professional?
But here's what's funny about that. Do you remember the episode before about the Drake episode where we were talking about posing for Instagram? And so it's really, you don't even have to be a celebrity to do what you're saying. That separation is, we all know our internet lives are not who we are in real life. Right. It's just not. And there has to be that separation. I hope to God some of you internet people are not how you are in real life. That's exhausting.
Please.
Like, you would be exhausting. Mm-hmm. I think you have to create to have a healthy, because I'm all about mind consciousness.
Sarah even mentioned that people are going to get tired of you being this real guy. They don't want you wearing the same stuff they're wearing, doing the same things they're doing. They're going to get tired
of the money a little bit.
And you would hope that's not the case.
Isn't that why we watch shows like Kardashians and Real Housewives? Because we like the opulence.
I don't,
like this.
But at the same time though, it's
people who do.
But it sells.
Millions of people who watch those shows.
And this is, and I'm gonna make a light equation. Ooh, even though I don't watch Kardashians, they're selling a lifestyle. When I watch an action movie, they're selling me a lifestyle of fantasy. Like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool to be in a car chase and get the bad guy, and then get the girl, and be the hero. So it's still selling a lifestyle of some sort.
What you're saying
that I enjoy, or fantasy, or whatever it might be.
What you're saying? Oh yeah. Oh wait. I had a thought.
Oh, we got Marcus.
Don't fade away. Thought. It's so like you just made me think of something.
I'm as real as my LinkedIn.
That's the whole idea with like Kill Bill with the bride. Like, you want to live through her. You like, she should have did this. She should have did that. Yeah. And so, or the guy taken, or why you get another. I hope we don't get another Jason Bourne movie. You want to be them in a way, like, how awesome would it be to be that badass? I do think he's that smart. Same thing with Bond. Why that keeps coming back? It's like, what if you could be that calculating But he did look like he was forethought and all that stuff. We want to kind of wear their skin. It's a type of voyeurism.
Yeah, it really is. You get a chance to kind of like escapism or whatever.
Should we let people ask questions, because we've got like So Dre said when Paperboy was walking like out of the woods, he looked like a zombie. Like, he was just beat up and bruised and stuff, and he was like physically. What did you say, dear? You said it almost looked like he was in hell. And I think that's why I said Dante's Inferno, because that forest was his own version of hell. My version of hell would be stuck in the 405, like with no gas and no battery.
Nobody come pick you up.
You're not supposed to get on the 405 at certain times of the day. And that's LA stuff for those who aren't here in LA with us.
Oh, man.
Certain times you avoid the 405 at all.
Someone else said something over here. You said something about
the homeless guy.
The homeless guy. The deer.
Gutting the deer with the box cutter, foreshadowing that he would gut Paperboy too. That's you. And someone said that's a good point. Hey, that's good. That's good.
He lived it. He's alive.
And then Max Evans is like, I promise you, I'm as real as my LinkedIn. LinkedIn don't count. You trying to get employed, so yeah, you gotta be. Yeah, you gotta be real on that.
So I mean, that's a great point. The deer, we don't know if it's been shot. It was cut. It was definitely guts everywhere. Yeah. So the box cutter homeboy could have. How did he catch a deer? Like they don't let you get that close to them.
He didn't lived in those woods. You don't know.
Like I'm from Michigan and I've lived next to deer my whole life. They don't walk up on you.
Some venison.
Yeah, some venison.
That's how he's living.
I do think that this was in a way a message to a lot of people that might be like kind of like bubbling on the come up. You know, you might be working on whatever it is. You might have a bakery coming, or you might be doing short films, or you might be kind of creating like being a producer, kind of creating shows or whatever it is, artist, paint, music, whatever it is. And you're like bubbling, but you kind of aren't giving it 100% because like, you know, Paperboy is kind of giving it about between 40 and 60% whenever, however he feels.
He ain't giving it no percent.
He's coasting.
They're not trying. Exactly. And if I was moms in heaven, I'd be like, I didn't raise no lazy man. Yeah. You have a talent. You need to start doing it. So I'm going to hold this box cutter to your damn neck until you figure it out.
That's and you guys at home know if you have a talent,
the homeless guy,
use it.
His eyes go glazy white. Maybe that's the mom taking over. And that is the mom holding the knife to her, like, boy, if you don't get your shit together and do as I have raised, you know, sometimes, you know, if you're reaching from
was being held to his neck.
Everything I've ever read, or especially when it comes to movies,
keep watching. Maybe
for people to reach us from the great beyond, they have to do a lot. They have to push a lot. They break a lot of rules.
Shake the table.
So when they do it, it usually comes at you like any movie talking about people reaching back from the dead. Even when they have the best of intentions, it's usually scary because they have to do jarring. Exactly, it's so jarring because they have to do so much to get across that divide because it's not.
Sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes I can give you signs and hints and nudges, and then I just gotta slap you.
All the Robs before that was the sign.
Right. This should have been signs.
We ignore signs.
Yeah.
We ignore hints. We ignore this gut feeling.
So
we ignore.
Dre just said he's rewatching the episode and they didn't play the color grade thing. He rewinded it like just now.
Wow.
But I don't know.
See, Sierra's vehicle had FL tags.
Florida tags.
Okay, the Bum in the Woods had orange liquor.
I missed it. What happened? Can you read
it
to us?
Okay, so it says Sierra's vehicle had FL tags. The Bum in the Woods was drinking orange liquor. His box cutter was orange. Owls at a crossroads. His ancestors are warning him to shape up or the Florida man's coming from. Oh, no, you did it. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yo, the Florida man is real, though.
Kevin landed with the win, y'all.
The Florida man is real.
That was a come up. That was a huge come up right there. Yeah.
But there are a lot of people that I personally
definitely agree with the ancestors, trying to whether it's his mother. We're thinking his mother because he has that close relationship. Yeah. But there's definitely a lot of Southern lore, a lot of Southern Black lore. If you're from the South, about your ancestors watching out for you. There's this passed on knowledge. I know it's very real in my family. We strongly believe that.
Yo, straight up, I saw my grandfather about a week or two after he died.
Oh no!
Straight up. I was walking in the house. He was at the back door. He looked at me. He smiled, waved, and walked out.
Look,
and he was as real as he just smiled and waved. And walked out. He just and walked on out.
That means he's okay.
Yeah, but it's it was crazy.
Right.
Because I'm finally starting to kind of get in the groove. All right, it's happened. I can kind of go back to work and stuff. And I'm walking downstairs. I'm and I called my brother. I was like, see, come here. Because I couldn't believe it. And he walked out the back door. I even ran out the back door.
Ooh,
looking for him because I was like, I swear I just saw him.
Right.
Yeah, my grandma, she passed away in January, and I was actually upset because people were saying, "Oh, you're gonna dream about her. Oh, you're gonna see her," and I never did until a month ago. And I remember this so clear. I was dreaming, and she was standing on a trolley. and the trolley was going by, and she, like your grandpa, she just smiled and waved at me, and then I was like, oh, well, I feel like she's good now. So I do feel like we're in between a place where Darius is we're nothing, we're all nothing, and then there's also like there's signs, obviously, and that's why I think the scene of his mother being there is so important, because that scene can't happen. I mean, all those other scenes afterwards can't happen without him reminiscing. It had to be the day of his mother's anniversary death, where it's kind of like, I should get this together. And the women in his life are telling him one thing and being robbed and going through the forest. And then finally at the end, like, not only did you have to get your ass kicked and robbed, but now you got to have a box cutter held to your neck to really get you out of
and that crying was like him changing direction.
That was sincere.
I feel like that was his
that was a real tear.
That was his uncle. I get it. I finally received this message. Yeah. And so when the next time somebody asks him if he could, because remember, anytime somebody says, hey man, are you Paperboy? He often pauses and tries to come up with a way to say no. Yeah. He rarely just says yes. But the change is so real. He just says, you know what? Yeah, I'm Paperboy.
And even beaten down and battered, he smiled for the camera.
Yeah, and then he did. He actually mentors.
Wasn't genuine, but
no. It wasn't. Well, I think
it wasn't as genuine as
he was doing the best he could.
I think the pain from his injuries are kicking in, but I would argue the opposite, because he even takes the time. He says, "We gotta be gangster on the picture." Remember, he's coaching the young white guy through what this picture needs to look like. Yeah. He's never done that. That's like a 180 around. But and so I was like, long live Paperboy. Because after Street Dude.
No, but he kind of got his cake and ate it too, because that is the most gangster picture you could take. You bloodied and bruised and like looking like you went through hell with some white kid. It's also like it's a dichotomy. It's like here you are taking this whack ass photo with this white kid,
this suburban dream, milk toast,
but you look gangster as F.
Look at you,
look
at you. I'm so gonna Drake shame you right now.
No, but it's a merger of both. Like Paperboy, you can still be your real authentic self, but you also can give into this too, because it wasn't faked. He really went through some stuff. Yeah. Right. And it's in the picture and it shows, and he's like, we gotta make it gangster. You look gangster, my dude. You look like a hot ass mess.
You already look gangster.
He's not coaching himself, he's coaching the man on how to be, the young man on how to be gangster. Yeah. Like, you can tell from his tone. He even takes on like a mentoring tone. Like, oh man, come on. You gotta look gangster. He's not telling that, he's not doing that for himself. He looks gangster. He's trying to get him into it, which is what a person would do with their fans, what an artist would do with their fans. You know, when you interact with your fans, you're trying to express to them that you're happy to see them. You're all about this, and that's what
it's weird.
And it's weird because it's like an instant difference in his attitude towards his fans. Yeah,
because it's weird. I have a small following, but I've been recognized at 2 conventions, and it's weird. It is weird, but I've never been like, I'm not NERDSoul. I don't have a show. You know, I don't shy away from it, but it is weird, I guess, when you, especially
in public. Don't look me in the eye.
She's quite the queen.
Wife and kid. They're like, you know, you might get thrown through the window.
Look at you.
I'm not a role model. Look. You're just a role model. You can't help it. Charles Barkley was foolish to a certain degree, but if I'm with my wife and kids,
you're gonna have his chance coming for you in a minute.
Be like, I love Charles Barkley. I do too, fool.
That's what I'm trying to say.
What's your final thoughts on it? How many episodes we have left?
We got 4 left.
4 or 3? I thought it was 3.
3? No, 3.
Yeah,
3.
3 left.
Before we get to the grand finale. Okay, so we're saying there was feet.
Oh, feet?
Feet symbolism. A lot of feet in this episode.
No, okay.
So here's.
I have to look that up.
This is a real stretch, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw the stretch in the Bible.
Oh my goodness!
Thank you. You know where I'm going with this?
The alabaster box where she washes Jesus'
feet
with her hair.
Feet.
We are here. Yeah.
What do I mean by this? I don't know.
You know what she just did? She just did Atlanta /
She just threw it at
Greatness. She threw it at you. And she's like, take what you will from it. Make what you will out of that.
Now, really quick, my final thought is, if you are out there, you're working at something and you're talented and you have the ability to display that talent, do not hide that from yourself. Do not hide that from the world. Do not hide that from the people that could benefit from you displaying your talent and sharing it with them.
As a Libra,
Sorry,
Jay, I don't know how to. As a Libra, we're getting our final thoughts. I think life is all about balance. I think it is possible to have what you want, but you can't have it all at once. You have to have some of this and some of that. So with this season and this episode, it's just like you give a little and you gotta take a little. You gotta give a little to take a little. And you gotta take a little to give a little. And that's hopefully where I think Paperboy hopefully finds his balance. Cool. That's
I'm gonna deviate and say opulence. I own everything. Everything is mine.
Oh boy!
And I'm not here for the balance. I'm like, I'm gonna take it. It's gonna be great. I'm empire building here. No, I definitely believe in.
Let your light shine.
Exactly. Light's gonna shine bright, y'all. I can't help it. You know, you're gonna get blinded.
So before we get out of here, I did want to take a moment and give some love to these ladies that are making films. They're killing it. They're getting awards. What's the award that you guys got?
I got Audience Choice.
Audience
for,
Choice.
Outfest. Yeah.
All right, cool. And you won something at AT&T?
We
both times.
Both times.
Best, our short Carefree won Best Film at the
overall
out of like 60 films, people. That's a big deal. At the AT&T short film competition, and it will be on the AT&T website hopefully by next week. And we're having a wonderful run of winning this.
This what's up. You know, black women in film, holding it down, killing it front, behind the screen, all that good stuff. So before we bounce, where can the wonderful people find you?
I am at LaStar Next everywhere on the interwebs. Fabulous.
I am at Sade Sellers on Instagram and Twitter. If you find me in person, you don't know me. Don't forget to buy and stream Chun-Li. Buy and stream Barbie Teens.
Look.
Watch the Crazy Rich Asians trailer on Monday.
All right,
don't got no Street Fighter in it though.
All right, guys.
I'm putting that out there.
Guys, thank you for watching. Of course, as always, hit us with a like and that thumbs up down below. If you like it, if you didn't like it, hit that thumbs down because it's all about engagement, so it doesn't really matter to YouTube anyway. Also, if you're digging the styles, subscribe and share. It's the best thing you can do. Share it for a brother.
Tell them the Facebook group.
Oh, Facebook group. If you're on Facebook and you love some Atlanta, go and find us where the FX Atlanta TV show group, or official TV show group.
Yeah, it's our group.
We're the only group.
We're the only group. All you have to do is find it.
We're the only people who
have nice comments and a whole now. Barbie Teens deserves better. Download and stream it.
You could be like a given, but we're like the only people out here who's on to make a group.
It's a great group. It's got a lot of members in it.
Yeah,
we're building. So you can find me online at OneYoungsta, which is OneYoungsta. And of course, NERDSoul, one word, NERDSoul. You can search it on Google, search it on YouTube, all that good stuff. Holla at me. And if you find me in public, especially at a convention, let's talk about Star Wars.
Unless he's with his wife and kids.
Donald Glover and Childish Gambino are going to be hosting SNL.
I wish
the first time that one person has done and they're advertising him as both Donald Glover for hosting. And the musical guest is Childish Gambino. I thought that was hilarious.
That's very cool.
They're very two different people. And also, Lando is in the center of the new
It's the only reason people are really going.
What's the movie called?
Han Solo movie.
The new Han Solo poster. Lando is in the middle.
Somebody made the perfect meme. They're like, how crazy is it to get the role for Han Solo and nobody's talking about it? Everyone's like Donald Glover's Lando.
It's rough for that kid. It's rough. I mean, I've even said it. Of course, this isn't Star Wars, but I honestly think Woody Harrelson and Donald Glover are going to be the bright stars of that movie, and everybody else is going to be.
Give my boy.
Everybody else is gonna be props.
It's just gonna be there.
The actor playing Han Solo is talented. He deserves his tings. Do not let him slide.
Okay. I didn't say he deserves it. I mean,
nobody said audience. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you. See, this is the audience. See them over there.
Thank you, audience. They're so fancy.
Yes,
they're coming up in the world. You guys are gonna watch that.
NERDSoul was filmed in front of a live TV audience. So, guys, of course, from us to you, we're out of here, and until next week,
bye.
Peace.
Goodbye.
Bye, Dre.
Peace.
Bye.